Are you struggling to get a good sounding rhythm tone out of your GT-1000? One that's going to stand out, cut through the mix, and make other dudes go, cool man. Well, sit tight, I've got a few tips for you. Let's go. Hey, hope you're doing well. So the amps and the cabs in the GT-1000 series sound great, but with a couple of little tweaks, we can definitely make them sound even better. So Boss effects obviously are great. I like Boss effects, you can probably tell, and a lot of them are in here. We've got a few copies as well, like the Tube Screamer and various other things. So in here, I've got the X modded amp, and I'm just using the 4x12 number 2 with that microphone. And I've got a distortion in here. What am I using? I am using the T-Screen. So it sounds good, it's totally usable, you can get away with that pretty easy. However, if you want it to sound even better, what I do here, I always chuck in a little bit of a room reverb onto my rhythm guitars, because this is digital and I want it to sound like we're in some kind of a room, even just a little bit. It's very subtle. You probably can't really hear that, but if I turn the direct level down, there's a little bit there. It's not doing a lot, but it's doing something, and it makes me feel better about it at the very least. And sometimes that is actually the most important thing. So then we could play around with the cabs, we could play around with the microphones, we could play around the distance, which we're going to. However, first of all, turn off your stereo link and bring in a second cabinet. Get a different one. So let's use that guy. Grab a different microphone. Then, now I'll leave that one. We'll change this to 5 centimeters. So that's just a single cab. I'm going to go with that. I like that. Basically go in, play with your cabs, play with your microphones, and find ones that work together really well and blend and makes you smile. Right there, that made me feel good, so I'm going to go with that one. Cool. So that sounds pretty good right there. Yeah? But what you can do, instead of just tweaking the one amp and trying to get the best out of this one amp, go to your divider, make it dual. Now I've got the rectifier stack there loaded up. Now that already basically just blends those two amps together. We're going out to those two cabinets. We've got two sounds there coming together, sounding mad. So at that point, obviously you can adjust your EQs. Now I like this X modded on that side because it sounds kind of martially. It's a bit brighter, whereas the Recti stack, it's a rectifier. So it's got some low end, it's got some grit, it's got some balls. So it thickens it up, makes it sound good and meaty. From that point, I have obviously a noise suppressor afterwards because it's not doing too bad actually. There's not a lot of output from those amps. And from that point, we want to EQ. Now here, I just go in with a parametric EQ and I find frequencies that I don't like and I just get rid of them. Handy tip for you, put your looper at the front here. That way now you can let that play, you can grab your EQ and you can tweak that without having to go back and forth while you're trying to play. So you get the gist. Those two spots there, they're kind of my go-to. 1K, I always find that really gross to my ear, so I always cut some of that, and it's a really high Q here. So it's basically, it's gone to a really nice point, and it's just taking that frequency and cutting it right out. And same here at 2.5, I don't like that, so I get rid of that. I've got the low cut here, but that's kind of pointless because on my main output, I already have a low cut at 100 and I have a high cut at 10K, and just here I have a little bit pulled out at 3.15 as well for the same reason. Sounds gross. Now another handy little tip to help your guitar cut through that mix straight away from the get-go, pull up a graphic EQ and boost just a little bit at 4K. Now hopefully you heard that small 2 decibel boost at 4K there made things quite a lot brighter. So obviously in a live setting, it's just going to help that guitar, like I said, cut through and punch everyone in the earballs. So you could go through and sculpt that tone with the EQ even further if you so choose. However, sometimes it's easier just to get it done and get playing. Now of course, this combination of amps and cabinets can be used in any style of music. I'm just using these ones because that's what I like to play. So there we go. That is a quick and easy way to get a better sounding rhythm tone from your GT-1000. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. See you next time.